So we talked about different ways on how we can maneuver through our depression or through our injury and start our path towards the healing process. One thing that I want to talk about is how pain can become power. How in the world is pain going to be power, Cherie? I'm going to tell you. We're going to run it down. One thing that I want to start off with is owning the path that you're on currently. For me, it was owning the fact that my leg will never be the same. Okay. You injured yourself in your 30s. Okay. We're here. That happened. So now what? I cannot be a victim to my circumstances. I refuse to sulk in my sadness for a long period of time. I refuse, because the reality is life is still going to go on. The world is going to still keep going. Time is going to keep going. Everything is going to move with or without you. And honestly, being sad or being a victim to my circumstances is not the way to go. And honestly, I got to the point where I didn't want to feel like I was a burden to other people, and I didn't want to feel like I was emotionally dumping my feelings onto other people. I was very cautious of that and very mindful of that. And I just told myself, like, okay, Cherie, this is where we are. How are we going to own this? How are we going to turn this around? One thing about resiliency is that it will slap you. It will slap the out of you. Because it did for me. I always said that I wanted to work on my mental state because I know that I have a sense of confidence, right? I know that I have a certain mind state that gives me the strength to maneuver through difficult situations and pull myself out of difficult situations. But I also was able to tell that my mental state was not always A1. It just wasn't. And even though I said I wanted to work on it, I didn't want it to be this intense. Like I didn't think that I was going to have to work on it like this. I was like, okay, God, like I know I wanted to work on it, but it didn't have to be like this. And for me, that's what I needed. I had to get hurt to work on my mental state. And it's something about tapping into your mental state that forces you to unlock creativity. And I always use most of my creativity over the years towards dance and creating visuals, but I didn't really explore the idea of unlocking creativity in other ways. Honestly, my mental state was piss poor. Now that I'm like doing all these things to work on my healings, I'm like, bruh, what was going on? What? Just how I talk to myself. And I did encourage myself, but this situation forced me to really encourage myself. It forced me to gain a sense of confidence that I never had before. And I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about the confidence to go in my crutches to different events that I still enjoy. The confidence to adjust despite my situation, but know that it doesn't hinder who I am as a person. It doesn't have anything to do with my character. Yeah, it's, an adjustment to my appearance, but okay, I'm still alive. I still have to maneuver through life. Am I going to hide in the shadows and behind the blinds of my place just because I have crutches and a knee brace? No, not at all. It's something about forcing yourself to come out of a difficult situation that makes you appreciate it. It definitely makes you appreciate it, because now that I am able to have a little bit more mobility, I appreciate walking without my crutches. And life is full of steps. So the fact that I am able to see what it was like not being able to walk, and now that I'm getting a taste of what it's like to be able to walk again, is amazing. And I have a new sense of appreciation for it. And I'm happier in a way. Even my therapist told me the other day, you seem happier. And I am. I'm still injured, very injured. And to be honest, I'm just kind of mentally preparing myself and just enjoying this time while I can, because I am getting surgery and I'm going to be propped up again. But I'm happy that I am walking a little bit before I get surgery, because I know how to pull myself out now. I know how to snatch myself up out of that dark place if for some reason I get back there after I get surgery, because that's going to be a hard process too. I'm kind of going backwards. The only difference is I'll actually have like a replaced ligament in my leg. But essentially, I'm kind of going backwards. So I'm going to have to tap into my mental state again. And that's going to be a whole series of challenges, new challenges, because I haven't experienced that part of this injury either. So resiliency and tenacity is a beautiful thing. Don't be afraid of what you can achieve by tapping into your potential. And honestly, this situation has also taught me how short life is. And I have nothing to lose. What do I have to lose right now? Because I felt like I was losing. I felt like I wasn't, I don't want to say winning, but I felt I was down and out, physically and mentally. So now it's like, what can I do? What are we going to do? And let me tell you, if I get back into dance again, I'm going to hit that dance floor with a different mindset. That's going to be a whole different person. And to be honest, you're forced to adapt and pivot through the situation. You're forced to do it. Because if you don't, you're just going to be sad all the time and nobody's going to want to be around you. And to be honest, if you don't address your toxic traits that you have during the situation, you're going to be toxic towards every single person that you're going to be around. And no one's going to be around you. No one's going to want to be around you. No one wants to be around that. No one wants to be around that. Nobody wants to be around sad Sally all the time, bro. Like, come on. At some point, you have to figure it out. Figure it out. Figure out how you're going to move forward. Figure out how you're going to rise above your feelings, your situation, and how you could possibly be an inspiration to other people. Because you're not the only person in this world that's injured. People do it every day. Permanently. So, if you have the blessing of having any type of mobility, whether it's your upper body, your lower body, your neck, your hands, appreciate it. And focus on that. Focus on the beauty and the joy of being able to maneuver with that. It's still a part of your life. It's still a part of you. Being injured is a part of you, but it doesn't define who you are. You define who you are. The beauty about this story is that it could change. The beauty about this story is you can write it and rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it. You can do that. Nobody else can do that for you but you. You are the pilot. And stop giving yourself excuses on why you can't do something, because you can still do it. Granted, I can't dance the way that I did in a dance class because of lateral movement and turns, and I could injure myself again or permanently, but I can still dance. I could still do a sway. I could still do a side boogie. I could still do a little chill bop. I still can dance. I could dance with my upper body sitting in a chair. I could dance with one leg. You can still dance. You can still do the things that you enjoy. It may not be to the extent that it was, but you can still do all those things. You might just have to minimize it a little bit, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. You feel like you can't do it because you're telling yourself you can't do it. You can do it. You can turn it around. And you might even create something for other people who are in your situation. Again, you write your story. Figure out how you can still do the things that you enjoy. Being injured teaches you the ability to combat stress and even combat new stressors that might come. Because this is a serious situation for me. It was for me. And it helped make me realize that other stressors that I thought were important weren't that serious anymore. They weren't that big. Or when something new comes my way, I know how to handle it because I know how to heal. I know how to take the steps towards happiness and moving past that situation. Keep in mind that this is temporary. Your feelings are so temporary. And once you move past that fog and you come to terms with where you are, where you're going, where you want to go, it's a wrap from there. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take away your resilience. No one can take away the power that you create within yourself to be able to heal and move forward. No one can take that away from you except you. And I hope that you don't. I hope that in this process, you learn new things about yourself. You find the beauty of what you bring to the table in certain rooms, in certain spaces. I hope that you discover new characteristics about yourself that you've never discovered before. I hope that you create new relationships, healthy relationships that you never had before. I hope that you have a new outlook on life as you go through this healing process. I had to learn patience, vulnerability, resiliency, and being okay with asking for help. Patience, vulnerability, and asking for help are all the things that I had difficulty doing. And this situation forced me to come face to face with those things. Was it easy? Hell nah. No, it wasn't easy. It's still not easy, but I'm learning to accept it. I'm much more comfortable with it now. I'm much more comfortable with being vulnerable, crying, being sad, acknowledging my feelings, being honest about my journey and where I'm going, where I was, and where I am now. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with admitting that I wasn't okay. I'm also okay with still not being fully okay. But I know that I will be okay. That's the difference. And these are the types of conversations that you have to have with yourself in order to heal and move forward. Even going to counseling was I'm so happy that I did. I was not going to counseling as consistent as I am now, and I am so grateful for it. Because not only am I learning about how to heal and maneuver through this injury, but I'm also learning about things that I struggled with during this process and why I struggled with it. Like, where did it really come from? Why did you talk to yourself like that? It's crazy. And honestly, I see why people are scared to do it, because it is so scary when you learn about yourself, and sometimes you even have to bring up things from your past to acknowledge it. But you will never grow by being complacent. You will never grow by staying stagnant. There's beauty in the struggle. It's a real thing. Beauty in the struggle. And everyone deserves to make it out on the other side of that. It is my hope that you heal through this difficult time in your life. It is my hope that you get the help and the support that you need to maneuver through this process. And I hope that you find a new sense of self as you grow and you blossom from that concrete and from that dark hole. It is temporary. You will get to the other side, regardless of what the circumstance is or what the outcome is. You will come out of it. You deserve to be here. You have people that love you. And I appreciate you for taking the time out to listen. And I hope that some of the tips that I gave will not only save your life, but provide support and help you realize that it does get better. And it will get better. Thank you for watching this. I wish you the best on your healing process. And I hope that you become the person that you needed when you were down. Because you are that person. Don't question your self-worth. You're not weak. You're not inferior to anybody. You're on a special path, a specific journey. Please don't question God, why me? Because I'm going to say, why not you? And love on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to people around you. And heal. You're here. We want you here. Good luck with everything. I wish you the best.